Alright, so this is my new 5-year-old walking horse, and of course he wants to come in here and go fast because that's what people have been doing with him. So I'm just doing a regular horse walk, or what we call a dog walk. That's what we're trying to do, even though he speeds up some of the time. And I'm just getting him to relax and get to the bit. Now he just sped up, so I'm going to make a circle, and I'm just trying to get him to come in the arena and just relax. And then there's horses jumping over there, so for him to get used to those other horses. And then I have cows up on my left up there and cars going by, so it's a lot for him to get used to. So he's not doing anything bad, it's just because he's not used to stuff. He speeds up. Well, now that car just went through rocks and he jumped, but not bad at all for a 5-year-old. Alright, so we're going to work on some leg yielding. So I take my right leg off and I push the horse over with my left leg. If it speeds up and it's not going, I just half halt, which means I squeeze relax on the rein. Now I'm making a circle because he just sped up. But if he speeds up too much, I make a circle. And what we're trying to associate is, you know, every time you speed up and I don't ask for it, you have to make one of these annoying circles. Okay? So I'm just trying to get him to relax, get so he can be on a looser rein without speeding up. And then he sped up, so we're going to make another circle. Circle's got to be small enough. If it's a big circle, they're not going to slow down. So it's got to be like a 10-meter circle, something that you'd make like in a corner, a small corner. Okay? Then once he's slowed down, then you can relax again. So I'm working on my big circles also, which I already did before I turned this on. And then I'm working on my leg yield. So I'm going to go down, well, I'm starting in the center to give us more room, and push him over. They're jumping over there, and he's not really moving over. That's okay, because again, he's just learning this. So every time he moves off my left leg, I take my left leg off. If he doesn't move over, I hold it on. If he's still ignoring me, I touch him a little bit with the spur. Okay. And once he's over, then I try to get his head down, get his attention back on me, and then we're going to do another leg yield. So this is just one of my arena workouts. Get his head down first. I touch him with my left leg, and whoa, he's a smart horse. So he's already gotten it figured it out. He's already figured it out. I've ridden him a couple of times in the arena, not a lot yet. But see, it depends on how smart your horse is. He's like, I'm super smart, people. And so he's figured it out. And he's getting better at just walking around, just relaxing. So with him, you know, a lot of horses all do this at their flat walk. There, he spooked or something. The cows are up there, so who knows. You know, we're behind a hill, so sometimes they catch an edge of it and they just don't know what it is. So if they spook, I always circle and go back, because I don't want them to squirt forward when they spook. I'd rather have them stop and look. Now we're going back into another leg yield. So some of these horses, you know, I'll go around and then I'll start flat walking them. But the ones that somebody rode a little bit too fast and they're always on go, you want to do a lot of walking, because that's what that horse doesn't know. It doesn't know how to walk. So the other thing you do is just make sure your butt's relaxed, your thighs are relaxed, and you're really not using leg to make the horse go, because some are sensitive, so you can just think go. Some of you, you know, are used to ones you have to push, so you get on these faster ones, and you know, they go a little fast, so you grip with your legs, right? Then you're trying to push them over, so you push more with your leg. And the sensitive type, that's overload. That's kind of like clucking and putting your leg on at the same time. So, you know, just ride with no leg. Just have your leg just against their side till they get used to it. And let them understand it's okay to walk. And just keep talking to yourself and keep trying to make sure everything's relaxed. Your butt's relaxed. Your thighs are relaxed. You're not gripping on. You're breathing. And take a deep breath in and out through your mouth, like every 5 or 6 steps. Because that'll relax your body. If you breathe through your nose, you'll be breathing, but it's not going to relax your body. So you want to think of, you know, yoga breathing, okay? So I'm just lightly touching him with my left leg, and we're still doing our leg yielding because it's not as good. Now he just sped up, so now I'm going to add a small circle in. He's like, oh, does that happen every time I speed up? Yeah. So Again, you have options. It just depends what works with your halt on them and they slow down. Then that's fine. But maybe you're putting too much other pressure on that horse, and so that's not working for you. And so then you're just going to use the circles to slow them down. And see, this guy has to learn circles anyhow, so it's good for him. So the more circles I have to add in, the better. They're going to get two things done at the same time. Okay, so now he talks. This is great. I love when they talk. So now I just want him to relax. His head can be down. He can be on a looser rein as long as he doesn't speed up. And he's sure-footed guy. He's not pacey. He's naturally gaited. You know, if he was pacey, I might not let him drop his head as much if I thought he was gonna be a little trippy in this arena. Okay, so we got his head down. He's relaxed and he's walking pretty slow with all that stuff going on. Okay, so in a minute we're going to practice our back up. Now his head came up, so even though my reins are long, I put a little pressure, and now he's speeding up. But we're heading towards Cash, and Cash is his friend. So he's just getting a little faster, going back towards that way, and most of them do. Most of them get a little faster as they head back to their stalls. Let's stop here because they're jumping right at us. And then he's watching the horse up the hill. Alright, so there's a lot going on that he's just not used to. Okay, so now we're going back to walking slow. If he speeds up again, I'm just going to make another circle. And then I'm going to start working on my backups with him because he's got to learn how to back up. So I'm going to do my backup up here at letter C. There's Cash, and there's Stall. So why not do it by their friends and make it a little bit miserable to be by your friends? Again, you're trying to get as much done as you can at the same time. So I breathe out, sit back, whoa, and then I pull. Okay, so this truck is going to hit these rocks. We'll see what happens. So I got my reins short, and I'm kind of prepared. And he's not, oh, he did slow down some. Wave, she didn't wave back. Alright, so now I'm going to do my backup. So in the beginning he didn't know how to back up, so I did it out of my turn on the forehand. And I moved his hindquarters and then backed him up. And now he has a clue. So I'm going to put some pressure on the reins. I'll try to show you his head so you can see what he's doing. He's like, I forgot how to back up. So now I put some pressure with my leg, and I got to step backwards, but he's crooked. So now I'm going to use my left rein and left leg to straighten this horse out. Okay, so now I'm going to back up some more. So I'm going to pull, and then every time he backs up, I'm going to release. It's okay that he's thrown his head because he's just learning how to do this. So you can't get it all done at the same time. So I pull, release, pull, release. Every time he backs up, I release. You don't want to pull too hard, and if they're not getting it, then it's helpful to spin them around because your horse won't know. And if they feel too much pressure and they don't know what to do, what do? They're going to rear up. So when you're teaching the backup, that's what can happen. Your horse can rear if you're putting too much pressure on and you can't figure it out. So teach it from the ground first, then under saddle. Alright. And always, use little pressure. You don't want to, remember that bit's on their tongue. Imagine if you had something on your tongue. So try not to yank real hard unless, your horse is bolting or a major problem. Alright. So I'm going to practice our stop again. So I'm going to breathe out, sit back, whoa, pull. So as soon as I say whoa, I give him a couple seconds, and if he hasn't stopped, I'm going to pull. Alright, so now we're going to practice our backup because that'll make our stop also better. So I'm going to put pressure on both reins. He backed up and I released. He actually tucked his head down. Now he's crooked, so I got a little left leg as I'm backing up to straighten him out. And now he's crooked, so I'm straightening him out, and he's looking in the other arena, so we're not going to stop until I have him paying attention. Okay, that's straighter. Now I'm going to ask for his head down while he's standing here. Good boy. I never know what this camera's showing. Alright, so now we're going to walk forward again. And a little left leg because he got a little crooked. Okay? So you're always trying to catch him. Think of your legs as guides and you're blocking. So if he, falls into the left or drifts left, you're going to block him. If he goes to the right, you're going to block him there. Okay? So I want to practice my backup as I'm going back towards the barn because, again, that's where he was getting faster. So it's a good place to practice our backup because that'll get him slower. So he's cutting in a little bit, so just a little left leg. Now I'm going to stop. So sit back, breathe out, whoa, pull. Remember, he's got to pay attention, so it's not my fault I said whoa and then he didn't stop and then it makes me pull. So I always have to pull right after so he understands whoa means stop, and if you don't stop, I'm gonna back up. So always make sure you're looking up. I look down some just so you guys can see in the video. Pull, release. He's not backing up. He forgot how to do it, even though we just did it. Pull, release. But this is what happens with horses that aren't trained. Pull, release. But I'd rather have this than one that's messed up. Because it's easy to put mileage on and train them the way you want. It's harder to take messy things off of horses that people have messed up. So you see he doesn't shake his head or do anything nutty because he doesn't know that. Nobody's messed him up. Okay? Alright, so we're going to try another backup here. So this will be like my third or fourth backup. So sit back, breathe out. Whoa. So he went slower, but he didn't stop. So I held until he put his head down. Now my reins are loose, and I'm going to ask for the backup. So I'm looking down just so you can see. So pull, release. So I pull a little bit. If he doesn't go, I add a little leg, and then I release as soon as he's coming back. Pull, release. I want a little bit more because I want to make this bad spot for you. Sorry. So you'll see some of the times he forgets and he throws his head up. That's also normal. Don't give up. Okay. So one more. Come on, you can do it, dude. Okay. Now get his head down. Good. Now I'm not going to sit here because we're by his friends. So we're going to walk off. Okay. So you hear me breathe because he was speeding up, and then I thought, oh, I did it because I'm thinking and I'm making him walk faster. So we want him just to walk relaxed. Now he's getting a little faster because there's a horse up there, so now I'm going to make my circle. So just a little left rein and left leg. Each horse is different how much you got to use. This horse is very well balanced, so he's not leaning in or anything like that. So remember, if they're going fast, breathe out, relax your butt cheeks, relax your thighs, relax your seat. And sometimes it's us putting more pressure on the horse. Remember, they're energy readers, so if you're really concentrating, you might be bringing your energy up and not realizing it. Okay, so we're done with our backup, so I'm just trying to get them to walk around and just be relaxed. We have another horse jumping at us. Now I'm kind of letting them look because he's not used to this stuff, and then they're clucking over here. Okay, now he sped up, but nothing bad, so now I'm going to circle. So a lot of people get nervous when stuff is going on, so that you want to breathe. You forget to breathe and you tense up, and then the horse just wants to get away from you. And how do they get away from you? They go faster. So you got to try and stay relaxed. Alright, so I want to do my turn on the forehand, and that's going to be off my right leg because I haven't done that before. Well, now, but I'm going to do it in the middle of the arena because then I'm going to give them a break, and I want them to be able to watch the jumping horses. So I'm going to stop. Whoa. Okay. So now I'm going to use my right rein and my right leg. We're going to keep his front feet still, make his back feet move, also called disengaging the hindquarters. And so you want to look where you're going to go, and then right rein and right leg. And then you hold their front end, and then I ask them for their head down after. Okay, but I already taught them his head down, but now I always ask for it after I do things, so they get used to just holding their head down. Okay, so tiny bit of right rein, right leg, look where you want to go. And then hold the front feet so they don't move. The walking horses are classic for their front feet moving. Okay, so now I'm actually going to look up. So right rein, right leg. And you got to feel their back end move. If you, have no idea, you need someone to help you practice or videotape it. Okay, so I'm going to look down just so you can see him. Right rein, right leg. Good. Okay. There we go. So he's getting that pretty good. So now I'm going to let him sit on a loose rein. So sit on a loose rein, and now he can look around as much as he wants, as long as he doesn't move. If he moves, I'm going to give him a job to do. So now I'm going to save the battery while we take a break. Maybe. So I walked off and forgot to put the camera on. So, and I'm working on my Tennessee walking horse. So Now I'm just going to work at his flat walk. So what I'm trying to do is just keep the same speed all the way around the arena. If he gets too fast and tries to go up towards a running walk, I can also circle besides half halting. Okay? Again, that's back towards the barn, so that's always where they get faster, and then going away from the barn, they're always slower. It's just like you going to work or you coming home from work, same thing. Right? You want to come home fast, but go to work slow. Okay. So I try to get their back relaxed. I want their head down, but not on the ground, because these horses have a higher headset, so it's not going to be way down there, and I don't want it too far down there unless I'm doing something to help them because they're pacey. Okay, so this goes downhill, so I got a half halt, and I got to stay slower on this side to keep their gait going well. If you go too fast and it's going downhill, even if they're well gaited, sometimes they'll get a little pacey. Okay? So otherwise I'm just trying to walk around and put some miles of flat walking on them, because again, some of these guys, people ride too fast, or what I think is too fast. Everybody has their own opinion. And I just like to get that 4-beat natural gait first before I start trying to get speed, because if you do it right and you do it slow, then all you have to do in time is just go faster. You don't have to do any crazy shoes, heavy weights, crazy angles, or anything like that. If the horse has some talent and understands what you want, but you do have to be patient and go slow in the beginning. Okay, so now I'm going to just walk around for the next 3 to 5 minutes in this direction, half halting, and then I'm going to go the other way. So I doubt you want to watch that. This is all I'm going to do. And again, if he gets too fast, I'm just going to make a small circle. It helps if you have an arena or a flat place to work. If you don't, you can do this out on the trail or anywhere. You just got to make yourself do that arena work out there and not go too fast, because your friends want to go fast. Okay, so we're going to stop for a minute. Oh, look, he stopped on his own.